Hello everyone, this is Jan and welcome to day 41 of my 100 Days of Making Comics Anthology edition. So this week I've teamed up with the mighty SamuraiOx to kind of push myself and keep up with him and his incredible output. So both of us are trying to finish our 6 pages in 3 weeks. So this is the first week. I think he just beat me to the punch. I think he's finished his pages 2 and 3, and I'm still on page 2, inking. So here's my update video. So to just kind of explain my thought process in making this little page here, the idea was kind of to divide the page in half. And so there'd be a passage of time going through the page. Oh, I can't hear anything. Okay, it's back. Hearing's back, always good. And so I would show a fairly young guy on one side and a very old man on the other side, not even necessarily the same person. And then the same in the ship, I'd show it like pristine and dilapidated and falling apart because of the passage of time on the other half. And it was kind of going to be one big illustration. But now, because I do feel like I have this space over here, this over here, I feel like I could, put something in there that would kind of, add just a little bit more story in another panel. That's what I'm thinking. But I haven't thought of what. So that's the thing. And then the other thing I was thinking was, okay, so my first page is Jupiter, big planet. It's a big splash page, kind of setting the tone like this is where we are, and showing the, so we're zooming in on one of the moons of Jupiter and the spaceship taking off. There's going to be a lot of text on that page to kind of, add to what you're seeing. But now, because I've got 2 pages which are basically big, like one way of looking at them is like big illustrations, I kind of feel like because of the way, like the first page is going to be on the right and then you flip it over, so this is going to be on the left, and then on the right I am now thinking I should totally have lots of panels, and I can't for the life of me right now think what I have on my layouts. I mean, I've got an idea of like what. Anyway, so just for the sake of design, like, the way it looks when you flip over and like whatnot, I think it would be proper to have this big illustration where there's a passage of time and then like lots of storytelling in panels, because I think that would be a nice way to read. That's kind of what I'm thinking. The other thing that I'm thinking of is that one of the story beats, because this spans a few hundred years, is that a lot of ships get stuck in the Oort cloud surrounding our solar system, which is massive, and so a lot of them don't quite make it out, and so there's this piracy or society forming in the Oort cloud. And then I kind of had the idea that while they are hanging on for survival, this race to survive amongst them kind of preps them for space warfare and piracy, if you will. And so over time, some of them form a completely different society with their own history and whatnot, completely detached from Earth, and then come back to Earth. And I thought, well, that would be kind of a cool story in itself. because my original idea was for that to just be a footnote, like one of the many things that happens over hundreds of years, and just leave it at that. And then ultimately, you know, like of all the ships, because this is kind of like, I didn't put that in, did I? Wasn't that supposed to, oh God, no, the dandelion. It's supposed to go on this page. A girl blowing a dandelion because of the, you know, the symbolism of like humanity going into space, very much in the way that you know, seeds are being blown into the wild by the wind, and many of them won't come to fruition, and some of them might actually become trees themselves. And so at the very end of my 6 pages, I want one of the ships to actually make it to another system and actually find a planet. But now I'm thinking this whole return from the Oort cloud to attack Earth as, well, alien invaders. That would be really cool. And to also kind of, you know, like what would their perspective be like as alien invaders, not like haven't forgotten that this is where they're actually from. You know, it'd be kind of cool to become like this spacefaring, warmongering pirates, and all these different factions, and then to come across the Earth, or what's left of it, with all its splendor, you know, having survived beyond Pluto. That'd be pretty, I mean, what would they think of the planet? I mean, they definitely would want it, wouldn't they? You know? So yes, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But yes, in the meantime, Ox, damn it, I know he's caught up. I know he's beaten me already to the punch. 2-3 pages. I've yet to see his video, but I know he has because I saw the thumbnail. So yeah, I'm gonna have to catch up, and I've been very, very slow today because I was so tired after work. It's Friday, and like, yeah, I really just need a good night's rest and just the right to sleep in and not have to get up, even though that still means I'll probably get up at like 8:30, but just that's an hour and a half, man. So that's a good hour and a half, and still feel like you're getting up early and have the whole morning to yourself. I went into town. I got some of these. Also shot some footage in town, of course, for you guys to enjoy. It's very warm. It's very nice. It's 15 degrees. My Colombian friend in Amsterdam just had her first snowfall ever. So she's been riding her bike through the snow, which is really funny to hear. And over here, we're looking at a week of rain, which is not cool, especially considering how much people freak out here when it rains. Like, they freak out so much, they're afraid to leave the subway station. They all huddle around the exit waiting for it to lighten up. It's crazy. Yeah, like they're gonna melt. But yeah, we're looking at a week of rain, but it's still a very nice 15 degrees all of a sudden. It seems like the cold has dissipated. We just had 1 week where it actually dropped below 0, and that was it. Yeah. Let's check in with the hombres. No, they're not. It's like everyone else has a life on a Friday night and goes out and has fun, not working on their cow. Time to do some more work. So I just thought of something, huh? The girl blowing the dandelion, because that will signify, you know, mankind dispersing out into space. Like I think the original layout was here, and then blowing that way, you know, like the seeds. I want to have it here. And then first I thought like, well, like really big, but I have to keep in mind that this is like, I'm going overboard because I want to make a nice piece of original art. But this is the actual size of the page. This is where it's most likely going to be cut. So it has to be here, so it has to be small. I think if I put it here, like I thought like the face outline like this, you know, the nose, the lips, like really big. I think that would look cool as an illustration, but I want to do it a little bit more comic booky. And then I also thought like she should be facing this way, because then you get a nice, like this, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like this is just one of those things, like, I don't know, like it's a design thing, it just comes intuitive. I think it looks better, like if I try and fit her here, like I would want to blow her up. If I put her small, I think that would just, there's too much here to look at, and I don't really want you to look at it more like, oh, it's a spaceship, clearly. Oh, this side is, you know, wrecked and falling apart. I'm thinking of doing a ladder here, but then just the silhouette, but like broken. I'm thinking of like having cables floating. So pull out the white out, and then afterwards add some more lines. I also thought of like maybe having her face the camera and like blowing up. That would be cool. I think that could be cool. Actually, I need to think about that for a second. Shameless plug. I have friends who have a band called Dandelion. Shameless plug. Let me just, am I allowed to rip their music? Probably not. They probably have a record deal. But check them out if you like a little bit of harmony.
Classic Texas style chili. I appreciate it. I think we'll have to come back here.
We'll definitely have to come and get some food.
Because I mean, like they have like special monthly specials, and this month is the burger is Cupid's Revenge. Oh, man, my lips are super red when I'm sick. I'm also eating really hot soup. Really, it's hot and hot, so hot both ways. So we're working on projectiles for this game. I'll show you guys. This is gonna be the ridiculous version of this level, but as my camera folds. So we just added the laser beam, right? But I haven't disabled the gravity effect on it yet. So I just like how this is working. It's just like an entertaining thing. Welcome to day 34, ladies and gents. Double here for T3G Vlogs. That's Hottest back there, setting up the drone. Yo, we are at IKEA. We are picking up the desk, and then we're gonna go pick up a computer from his house to go drop off at his nephew's house and get that all installed. So it should be a pretty fun vlog. IKEA always thought that'd be a cool shot, but he didn't want to do it.
The DJI. That's pretty stupid cult today.
Yeah, the most patriotic apartment complex I've ever seen in my life, right?
Right in the middle.
Like right in the middle of it. I guess. We had to come out and get the rest of the computer, his old computer, because we're gonna use some of the parts to install everything from his old house to get his shit out.
Dog, we gotta go back. I fucked up, Nolly. We were trying to break in and it didn't work. we're bad B&E people.
Right? Could never call you guys for a B&E.
Don't ever call.
So, we've got most of it done.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't think ahead of time about if we might need some extra cables or that, but
8-pin extension will always get you when you're building a computer.
8-pin extension, definitely. I'm sick and tired of power supplies not having a pumping up 8-pin.
bit ago. We're gonna go get some social justice coffee at an ACLU-friendly coffee joint in town, and possibly get some food. You look so hard with that hat. How do you feel about that? I'm gonna pitch the next clip of the night. All right, ladies and gents, I have just put in just shy of 90 minutes on this. I have worked on the comic in the last few days, but I haven't worked on it to the level that I want.
So, young girl in a spacesuit, Earth clothes. Spacesuit, Earth clothes. Hair tied up, hair 0G. I think I'm gonna go with this one because it's just a little bit more, you know, on the nose. Like, no, this is what I'm going for because it's a dream from Earth for us to go into space instead of this one, which then would require explanation, like why do they have dandelions, or like it might just invite people to think along those lines rather than just like, oh, it's you know, it's a memory from Earth.
I'm not gonna say that shit now.
So that's it for this day 41 of my 100 days of making comics anthology edition update. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And if you like what you see right here, right now, be sure to come back tomorrow for another update of my Sketchalona series, in which I show you some of the sights and sounds of Barcelona while filling up my sketchbook and drawing to my heart's content. Alright, I hope to see you tomorrow, and with that, good night.